Okay, good morning, everyone. Oh, we're not, we have to wait.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. Okay, so now we are of the hour. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Members of the public are advised that our meetings are webcast live by the City of Hamilton and temporarily archived on the city's website. Other individuals in the media may also be audibly and or visually recording this meeting. Well, a reminder, please, as well, to switch all electronic devices to non-audible for the meetings. Thank you. There's no ceremonial activities. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to today's agenda?
No, Madam Chair, there are no changes, but the minutes from yesterday's meetings are before you.
Perfect, thank you. And may I please have a motion then to approve the agenda as presented, moved by Councillor Nan, second by Councillor Danko, and it's an electronic vote, please. All in favor? Super. Are there any declarations of interest today? Seeing none, then may I please have approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of yesterday, September 25th, moved by Councillor Danko, second by Councillor Nan. All in favor? Excellent, thank you. And no communications. So we're going to go right into the discussion items, which is the capital project status report. I'll go through it page by page again as we did yesterday. If there's any questions, just fire me a light here. Councillor Danko, go ahead.
Thank you. First item on the financial program is from 2007, the Tangible Capital Asset Project.
Page 1, sir?
Page
Yes,
1.
got it. Okay.
There's a note that still required for some software and updates. Just wondering if this is really the same project, considering it's been on the books for that long.
Joe, or software info? No.
Through the chair, I'll talk to the Tangible Capital Asset Program people, and I'll get back to the councillor, if that's okay,
Are
offline.
they supposed to be here today, or are they just running late?
No,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Could you follow up with Councillor
Sure.
Danko offline then? Would that be okay, Councillor? Yep. Perfect, thank you. And next question? I see highlights.
Yep. On the DC, there's two DC items on this page, the DC exemptions recovery and development charges bylaw. Considering we've just recently updated that, is there any changes to those two projects?
Through the chair, so I'll start with the DC exemptions recovery. So we usually make that entry in the fourth quarter, the 6.5 million, that was a 2019 budgeted amount to fund the foregone revenue for DCs. And so the expenses will equal the budgets on the next report that goes before this committee. And, correct. And regarding the on the DC bylaws, there were 6 appeals, and so depending on, I know three of the appeals were a little bit more simple, so we'll find out shortly whether or not they'll go through, and we'll have a more accurate understanding of the potential costs probably in 2 or 3 months' time.
So there's still ongoing appeals that are under that line item. Okay, thank you.
Super, okay. And Councillor Nan?
On to page 2. The social procurement consultant. I'm glad to hear that the project is complete and we're just waiting to pay off the final invoices once it's received. I was just curious about the status of when would the social procurement report be coming to AFNA? Would it be coming to GIC? When will council see it?
Through the chair, let me talk to the to Tina Ayako about that, and I'll get back to the councillor.
Thank you.
Okay, Councillor? Another one on page 2? No? Okay, page 3? 4, 5? Page 4, Councillor Danko.
On page 4, under the city housing asset management, the first line there, in the text, it says renoviction of 2C. I assume that's a typo. Should be renovation, I'm thinking.
It's in the status explanation, very first word, renoviction. Good catch, Councillor.
And on children's services and neighborhood development, this is the neighborhood strategy, the first line from 2012. I'm assuming that, or I'm thinking that once that the work at Captain Cornelius is done, this fund is essentially closed. Is that right? Through you to staff?
Through the chair to Councillor Danko, hello. This is not just money for the Rolston or the Captain Cornelius pathway. This is money that's used for several engagement opportunities within residents and neighborhoods. So we're still working on various things across the city.
Okay, so I just noticed in the text that Rolston Path construction there, and it's close to being complete, but, okay, thanks, Sal.
Thank you. That was page 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go ahead, Councillor. Page 7. The staff are aware as we move through.
Yeah, on page 7, there's an item for the Tenant Defense Fund, which hasn't program approved, but no program take-up so far. Just wondering what we're doing to promote that, and also if this is part of the provincial cut to tenant defense funding, or how that relates.
Through the chair, it's my understanding there has been one application to that program to date. I'm not aware of the exact status of that, but there has been some take-up. That is a municipal-only program, new this year, and the $50,000 was allocated from the housing services surplus.
So we're expecting further pickup, kind of as it becomes known that it's available.
Through the chair, yes, we are.
Good, thank you.
Page 8, 9. 10, 11. Councillor Danko? No? 10, 11. 12, 13. Page 13, Councillor Danko?
Yes, under industrial lands, the secondary plan for the airport employment growth district.
Feet.
Yeah, just an update on the status of this guy.
Guy's not present.
Oh, okay, because it mentioned this to be appropriated or returned. So the question was whether it will be reappropriated or returned.
I would assume that Guy would be bringing a report back on that.
Through the chair, yeah, I'll talk to Guy and we'll get back to the councillor about where we are with regards to reappropriation of those funds.
That should go to all the councillors, especially if we're dealing with, and it's probably a report that's going to come forward at some time.
Okay, I'll find that out.
Sir, thank you. Okay, Councillor? So, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2021, 22, 23, sorry, Councillor Danko, my apologies, I didn't catch you fast enough. Page 22.
On page 22, the Garth Street Extension Class EA, I believe the developers initiated their own EA, so I'm wondering what the status of this project would be, considering if it's going to be done privately.
Councillor, you're correct in that the Garth Street EA was initiated by the developers at the time when we submitted the budget sheet. We had no indication that there would be a private developer coming forward to do the study.
So then is this project is no longer required, or?
It's likely the project is no longer required.
Okay. So then that can be officially canceled and returned?
Yes, we can do that in the next round.
Excellent, thank you.
Just noticed real quick, Gordon Dean, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth item down, I think Gordon's spelled wrong. Yep, it is, you might want to correct that. Gordon, just for the records. Councillor Again, go ahead.
One more on that page, the 2018 Development Road Urbanization. I noticed there's a number of these going back quite a few years where there's urbanization allocated. I'm wondering if any of that has been allocated to the last remaining legacy portions of West Fifth or Upper Wellington.
Sally, would you have that information?
I believe a lot of those older urbanization accounts, the money has been allocated to a project. I believe it was allocated to Parkside Drive. It doesn't show up on these reports because, or it should show up in the reports, but I believe most of those older accounts, the money has been accounted for a specific project, and it was not accounted for West Fifth or Upper Wellington.
Okay, thank you.
Great. So that was 22, 23, 24, 25. Councillor Nan?
Thank you. Through the chair, just curious about the 2014 on page 24 St. Clair Heritage Plan Review. Just clarification about which area of St. Clair. Is that St. Clair in the Lower City, or is that a St. Clair in the rural area? And just given that the funds were allocated in 2014, just wondering if there could be an update. It's not clear if the draft Phase 1 background report was delivered this year, as the year is not indicated.
This would be your area, Councillor.
So it is Ward 3. It is the St. Clair Heritage District. That's a
Heritage
couple of blocks south from where I live in the neighborhood. So I was just curious about getting an update, please.
So is there anyone here that can answer it? No? Other than I'm certain, because I'm on Heritage Committee, that there is a Heritage review plan that's being done. So what was the other part of the question, Councillor?
The funds were allocated in 2014 for this to be initiated. The explanation says that a background report was done in June 30th. I just wanted to clarify if that was this year or if that was done in a previous year and what the status is.
Through the chair, I'll follow up with Anita on this project.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that was page 24, 25, 26, 27. Councillor Danko?
On page 26, at the top, under 2019 online parking module, wondering, the comment as projects not advanced due to staff resourcing, specifically, what was that project intended to be for you?
Through the chair, I'll talk to Mr. or Mrs. Hand, I'm not sure which, but we'll get back to the committee members
I guess what I'm
regarding an
thinking,
update.
yeah, what I'm thinking, Joe, if that was online parking, meaning being able to pay for parking with an app or something like that, I think that needs to be a priority, because,
I thought that's been implemented. That I saw something recently as an email from Mr. I can't remember his name. He's a new staff person in parking. Like McIntyre or something. I can't remember. Anyways,
we can follow up.
yep. Okay, and page 20. I'm just going to ask if I can. Sorry, Councillor Nan, you go ahead.
Also on page 26, thank you through the chair. Just curious about the bike racks, if those are on a request basis and obviously a citywide initiative. Okay, so we'll follow up with
Mr. Topolovic. Yeah, Peter Topolovic, so we can ask him to get that information. I just wanted to ask, and I know Chris is here. No, it's not Chris, actually, sorry. M. Phillip, just down 2016, it says Cordon Count Project. What's the Cordon Count? I've never seen that I recall before.
Through the chair again, I'll follow up and
Sorry about that.
have
Just
staff.
caught my eye. Okay, so that's page 26 and 27. 27, Counselor Danko, go ahead.
Thank you. This, I know Daryl's not here, but on the 2018 on-street bike facilities, one of the listed projects here is the Claremont Access, which is the J. Ketty Trail. I'm starting to get worried that some of this funding was grants, and worried about the grant deadline to actually get this built. Is there any update on that you can give me?
Again, we'll have to get that.
Have to get back?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Counselor Nan?
I also had a lot of questions around the bike facilities, and given that staff aren't here, I'm curious about perhaps having a meeting with any other counselor who might be interested on receiving updates on this, if we could coordinate
Talking about the SOBI bikes?
for several of the on-bike facilities
That would be the SOBI.
issues.
Yeah. So the best person would be Peter Topolovic to speak to and arrange to meet if that's possible. So he'd have all the background information.
Great, thank you.
Page, so we'll move on then. 26, 27 we've done. 28, 29, and 30. Nothing further. Thank you, everyone. So we've gone through it all. May I have a motion to receive item 10.1, moved by Councillor Danko, second by Councillor Nan. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And we have no notices, no motions, no general information, no private and confidential. May I have a motion to adjourn, moved by Councillor Nan, second by Councillor Danko. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. We don't need a recorded vote for that, do we, Angela? Thank you, everyone. Vote the same as yesterday.